Welcome to the Interprétame video tutorial. We're going to navigate the site together so that you get familiar with the interface. The site is in Spanish for now, but can be used to train any language combination and will be translated into English within this year. First of all, we'll have to log in. And once logged, we can start interpreting by clicking on Prets, Nuevo Pret, or directly on Nueva Interpretación. Pret is the abbreviation we decided to give to each interpretation made by a user. The first step to create a pret will be finding a speech we'd like to interpret. The video search engine shows by default Steve Jobs' famous speech in Stanford, a speech we highly recommend if you haven't heard it. But now we're going to look for another one so that you can see how the search engine works. Say you want to practice your interpreting skills for English to Spanish. You'll have to look for a speech made originally in English. Meryl Streep's speech at this year's Golden Globes has caused quite a storm, so why not try it with this one? Just write in her name, the search finds it on the first place and places it in the central screen. On the right side, we could access the actress' other speeches. We click on Continue, and the next step urges us to tag the video with keywords or tags. Tags will be useful for other users to find the same speech easily. Meryl Streep, Globos de Oro, or Donald Trump are some examples of relevant tags, but others can be added. It is not necessary to write capital letters. I'll delete the tags because I already added them before. Once the video has been tagged, we can start interpreting. We click on Next and we access the recorder. We put our headphones on, play the speech, and click on Record. Gracias, muchísimas gracias. Sentaos, por favor, and so on and so forth until you're done. Then we click on Stop, and once the recording is ready, we can listen to it, download the audio, delete it if we're not happy with our performance, or save it. If we choose to save it, we will be able to proceed to assess it. Audios are stored in the section Mis Prets, and in the free version of the platform, each user can store 30 minutes of audio split into up to 3 prets. The moment we delete a pret, we free up storage space and get back those minutes of audio. Here we have our audio and further available features. Information, assessment, once again the option of deleting it, and the function not yet enabled that would allow us to share the pret with other users to ask for their opinion or assessment. Alright, by clicking here, we can access the self-assessment sheet, fill in the first part with comments, and grade our performance later on with numerical grades. As we can see, these are quite comprehensive sheets that allow us to assess the many different parameters of our performance regarding formal presentation, expression, and content. A yardstick recommended by many interpreting professionals such as María Amparo Jiménez Ibars, interpreter and professor, who explains and develops this system in her book
Primeros pasos hacia la interpretación inglés-español.
Well, some of the parameters are quite self-explanatory. Others may need clarification. Hovering the cursor over each one, we can read an explanation or see some examples that may serve as guidance. On Meryl Streep's speech, there is a moment when she talks about vilified segments of society. Let's say we listen to our performance and we realize we said sectores vilificados. Vilificados would be a calque, so I write it down in the corresponding box. We can add other comments, for example, too loud. And then this empty white box here at the top is very useful to add extra comments we may need. Questions, suggestions of improvement, strategies we'd like to try next time, etc. As an example, the actress talks about her colleagues' backgrounds and at a certain moment says that one of her colleagues was raised in a sharecropper's cabin. Sharecropper's cabin is a word I don't know how to translate, and the translation suggested by Collins Dictionary, aparcero, is also unknown to me. So I make a note to look into it or ask other users how they would translate it. Last, down here we can access some global aspects of our performance using a scale 1 to 5 in which 1 would be the lowest grade and 5 a 5-star performance. An arithmetic average is shown at the side. We save our assessment sheet by clicking on Finalizar, and voila, all information is attached to our PRET so we can look it over and revisit it whenever we want. Here we can see the notes we had written and the numeric grade. Now we want to create a glossary with the new words learned. For that, we'll go to the section Expresiones, and we'll create a new one. In this case, it will be from US English to Spanish. We look for language. And we add sharecroppers. For now, we will leave aparcero as the translation until we check. And vilify segments, which, although if I take a moment, I know how to translate it, I realize I have the risk of making a mistake when interpreting, so I write it down. The list can go on until we have as many terms as we want. And when we want to test our memory, we can use one of the coolest functions of the tool by clicking on Ejercítate. The software will randomly ask you the new vocabulary, and you will only have some seconds to say out loud the right answer. A great way to go over new vocabulary and learn it independently. Let's see now where the tags or keywords we had added to the video ended up. We open the section Explora, and here they are. A cloud of tags that lets us access the speeches other users found interesting. And here the tags we just added, thanks to which any user will be able to find Meryl Streep's speech and interpret it without having to look for it in the search engine or tagging it again. The forum, another one of the main sections of Interpretame, offers us different cooperative spaces in which users take the floor. We encourage all users to take part and help shape all sections. Inicio brings us to home and shows a newsfeed with the most recent posts and comments from the forum. And here on the right, we see the new tags added. Clicking on them, we can directly access new speeches and practice. To personalize the platform with a profile picture or a cover photo, you can do it here or in the section Perfil, where you can upload them from your computer. You can contact us through the section Contacto and leave us a comment, suggestion, question, or feedback, even if it's a criticism. And in the last section, you can see the faces of the founders of Interpretame and some of the collaborators who helped us or are still helping us to make this project possible. We would love to add more faces to this initiative, so do not hesitate to contacting us if you have any proposals or you would like to contribute. A great way to help us right now is spreading the platform so that it reaches as many interpreters to be, or language lovers as possible. Cerrar sesión will log out and bring you back to the main page, from which you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter to keep track of the project and the new updates and improvements we're constantly adding. And that was it, dear interpreters or future interpreters. Explore it, share it, and above all, enjoy it. Thank you very much.